Okay, next one. This is a big one. Filippo, tell us about it.
All right, this is the new Slate.
Filippo
truck.
was there when the cover was pulled off the Slate at some sort of event space in Long Beach.
They had an event last week, and they drove in. They drove into the airplane hangar in a Slate.
They did. And they rented out an event space. After this, they had the Goldfarb wedding. They had to get Slate out of there.
That'd be out there by 11:30, so they could turn out.
We got to set up.
But this is the new Slate. Slate is a whole new car company that is funded in large part by Jeff Bezos and by the dude that owns the LA Dodgers, as well as some other investors. And their goal is to keep cars as simple as possible. So everything they're doing is about simplicity. You might notice that none of them are painted. That's because they're designed to be easy to wrap. And you can wrap it. You can buy wrap from Slate, or you can bring it to your own wrap installer. There are a bunch of other components that you expect to be in a car that aren't in the Slate in the name of simplicity.
Like a radio.
Like a radio.
You want a radio?
You want any infotainment system? Too bad.
You as a native European must love this. Just no options of any kind. If you could give
me many options, many customization options, but nothing standard.
Nothing standard. Sorry,
nothing required. It's a cool idea, right? Like keep the build process really, really simple, keep it really standardized, and then offer a bunch of customizations that, in their words, get like flat pack shipped to the consumer. So you might notice there's an SUV available. There's also a slant back SUV available. You buy the pickup truck, and you then buy the additional seats and roof that goes in the SUV, and they ship it to your house.
Here's my problem.
Which one? Because there's some more problems.
The starting price is $27,500.
They're advertising it as after tax credits, it being under 20 grand. Tax credits right now are $7,500. So yeah.
So it's $27,499,
which is the same price as a Ford Maverick, by the way.
Really? That's what a
Maverick is $26,900 MSRP. So yes.
With destination? Yeah, 27. That's interesting. That's one of my problems, by the way. This is a two-door.
It's a two-door.
The market doesn't want two doors.
Yeah, but the market might want two doors. There's none for sale. Nobody knows.
Okay, well, let's go through some of the two-door SUVs that have...
The Bronco.
No, the Wrangler is the best example of it. The Wrangler was a two-door for years and years, and they came out with a four-door. And do you know the mix now? It's 85-15. The four doors are 85% of Wrangler sales. Let's talk through the other two-door SUVs that have succeeded over the years. The Chevy S10 Blazer, the Ford Explorer Sport,
Defender
the
90,
Isuzu
which
Amigo,
exists.
the Defender 90, which
exists.
is, what's the model mix there on
zero.
Defender?
Approximately
97-3.
Yeah.
So it's a two-door only. And by the way, I wasn't just talking about SUVs, pickups too.
Yep.
The Maverick is a four-door pickup. The market likes four-door pickups now. Is there an accessory to add
on doors? No, but you cannot seats. Couple of other fun facts about it. There is a front trunk that they advertise as being able to fit 2 carry-on size suitcases. So that's something.
Okay.
That's actually a pretty big deal.
It will have, it's rear-wheel drive, 201 horsepower, something like an 8-second 0 to 60 time is what they're claiming. By default, the default configuration, which starts at 27.5, will have 150 miles of range, thereabouts. You can add on an extended range battery that brings it to 240.
So for the same price as a Maverick,
it's a tough sell.
You get 2 less doors, no radio, no paint, 150 miles of range.
Crank windows.
Although
I meant that. But
people are going to freak out and be like, oh, this is exactly what I want. Yeah. And then are they going to buy it?
Let me do the math and carry that one.
As is legally mandated, though, they do have a backup camera, they have automatic emergency braking, and they have collision avoidance, or collision detection.
Okay, well, the backup camera is federally mandated.
Legally mandated.
Is this the slowest EV on sale then currently?
No, there's some slow stuff out there.
But it's close.
Subaru makes the Solterra, and I don't know if it's slower, but in my mind it is.
8.1.
So there's things that I like and things that I don't like, including having seen it in person. I love the approach to simplicity. Like, there's a lot of stuff in cars that a lot of consumers don't want and would be willing to trade savings for. And I also am a big fan of any time a manufacturer tries really hard to simplify what they're building. If there are cost savings that result, and they have not found those cost savings clearly,
it's kind of surprising.
The price isn't right.
Well, it's kind of surprising. For the same money as a Maverick, and they're saying if you don't include the incentive, it's $27,500. Well, the incentive may go away. There's a lot of talk about that.
Q4 2026 is what they're targeting, which really means they'll deliver a truck in December of 2026.
Yeah, and that's far away. That's 2 years from now.
I would not be that confident that incentives will exist. Now, they do say that it's going to be made at a factory in Indiana, and the batteries will also be made in the U.S. So from a tariff perspective, the Ford Maverick might increase notably in price.
Because it's built in Mexico.
This will not, in theory. It's built fully in the U.S., which is cool. And I like parts of the concept, but it's not the right price.
It is an interesting idea in concept. However, when I was looking at what is all accessorized, if
Everything.
you want a radio, if you want paint, if you want this and that, they're going to end up a normally equipped one that most people are going to want is going to end up costing $35,000.
Yep.
And for that money, you get 150 miles range, 200 horsepower, and a two-door truck.
Yep.
And for 35, the Maverick it offers quite an appealing. You can get a mid-trim or high-trim Maverick or a lot of used stuff.
Yep.
And I imagine that used cars is is something they're really trying to focus on.
A lot of their messaging was around, you previously were only in the market for a used car, now you can get a new car.
Well, now you can get a new two-door SUV.
With crank windows and a
Although I meant
0
the
to
crank
60
windows.
time from the
I meant to that.
1970s.
I meant to. I don't care about the specs for that. I think that really cars are overbuilt for the average consumer from a power perspective. Like they don't.
If you could deliver me an underbuilt car for 15, I'd be for 15, not pre-incentive.
Right. 15 period, not 27.5.
Because the incentive is the incentive off your income taxes.
There is a phase out, so you need to be making under.
Okay, but it is off your
150
income
grand.
taxes.
You can get the credit immediately upon purchase.
Okay,
right now.
Let me name some other great successful two-door SUVs. Land Rover Freelander, canceled, failed.
Freelander.
Suzuki Sidekick, canceled, failed. Toyota Land Cruiser, canceled, failed. Toyota RAV4, canceled, failed. Isuzu Via-Cross, canceled, failed. Kia Sportage, canceled, failed. Nissan Murano, canceled,
There was
failed.
a two-door Kia Sportage.
Yes, with a convertible.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mercedes G-Wagon, canceled, failed.
Yep.
Isuzu Trooper, canceled, failed. GMC Jimny, canceled, failed.
What Slate has different is they have the pickup truck. You can also get flat pack, the hard top, like that, and the slant back one.
This vehicle
this is
needs
hard.
4 doors and a lower price
This
point.
is the kind of. It certainly needs a lower price point. I don't disagree about for it. I could imagine it being a really appealing fleet vehicle.
Yeah.
It's simple. You can presumably buy a bunch from Slate directly. You can customize it easily to represent your business.
You don't need your
I like
fleet
that.
guys having a radio.
Well, fundamentally, like, if you're
AirPods.
ever if you see what fleet drivers are driving, they're using their own tablets for navigation anyways because it's tied to their company. You don't need to have an inbuilt navigation system.
Well, hey.
You don't need that stuff. I do agree. That's appealing for this, but for a consumer,
Yeah, a little less appealing for a consumer because once you get, I mean, wraps aren't cheap. Wrapping a vehicle is not cheap.
No,
this
it's
is
not.
purposely designed to
Well.
be cheaper.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
I mean, wrapping a full car is still $2,000. I mean, a car this size, it's little and it's designed for that. And maybe it'll have some efficiencies, but it's going to be expensive if you want any sort of paint on it, et cetera. I think the concept of it is cool, like you do. The concept of like a cheaper,
I like the idea.
scaled down, et cetera, but not in love.
Yeah, I also do legitimately love that they're trying to keep things simple.
It's just hard for me to explain how much consumers want 4 doors.
And
Every
also-
pickup truck has switched away from this. Every SUV has switched away from this.
Also, fundamentally, at that price point, where you're gonna be most successful is if you can finance everybody. So if this truck comes out and they're very well funded, so it will, their success is gonna be partially on price and features, and partially on like, can you beat Nissan and Hyundai at the finance anybody game?
Yeah,
Do you have the
yeah.
right financing partners? Can you get deliveries out to customers? Can you make it seem appealing? Is your advertising strategy a good one? And they are backed by people that have had incredible success. So maybe
4 doors.
I'm skeptical.
4 doors. People are going to watch this and argue with me, but I've watched when I was a kid, every truck was 2 doors.
Yep.
And then this concept of a 4-door truck came out, and now for Maverick, for Ridgeline, for Grenadier Quartermaster, for Santa Cruz, they didn't even consider a 2-door version. It's not even discussed.
No.
And when you look at Tacoma and when you look at Frontier and Ranger,
all 4-door.
the percentage of 4-door sales
them.
is absolutely astronomical.
Yep.
Either crew cab or extended cab or 4-door.
Yep.
Then you go to the SUV side and it's the same deal.
Yep.
So that in itself, from an architecture perspective, is already a drawback of the car. Then you get into stuff like nothing standard and it's pricey.
I will say, so part of the nothing standard, you can get customizations. Part of their pitch at the event was, okay, you can pay the 20 grand up front or whatever. And then when you are able to, you can decide to add these customization
That's fair.
touches. So it's fair. By the way, it looks a lot like a Bronco 2. I've been trying for a while to place what the SUV looks like.
Yeah.
And it's a Bronco 2.
Bronco 2, yeah. Which, by the way, failed.
For Kenan's sake, though, it is 2 feet shorter than a Maverick.
2
my
feet shorter than a Maverick.
And like
Maverick
about
is
the
not
length
short,
of a-
though.
of a
That's interesting.
Crosstrek.
That's actually bigger than I was expecting. A Maverick is actually pretty long. A Maverick is 200 inches long. So this is 2 feet.
174, 76. I'm rounding a little bit.
186. 2 feet shorter.
2 feet shorter.
170. Okay, that's pretty good. That's like a Corolla. That's actually decent. But you
an
lose
inch-
the doors.
It's an inch longer than a Crosstrek or something, or it's shorter than a Crosstrek.
Anybody can get 2 feet off a Maverick if you pull out the back doors.
Right.
Hell, why don't they pull out the front doors? They can be 4 feet shorter. No receipts at all. Okay, move on to the next one. Yeah. With everything that's happening in the economy, it feels like we're all walking on shaky ground. Prices are stuck at really high levels, and it seems like nothing is affordable anymore. It's no wonder many are relying on credit cards to cover the gaps. Credit card debt is skyrocketing, and it's leaving a lot of people stressed out. If you're a homeowner, you don't have to face this uncertainty alone. My friends at American Financing can help you take control. They can help you access the equity in your home to help you pay down that high-interest credit card debt, giving you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people like you are saving $800 a month. Plus, American Financing may close your loan in as little as 10 days. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so there's no incentive for them to put you in a loan that doesn't make sense. And American Financing is family-owned, and they've been around for 25 years. Don't let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing now. It costs you nothing to get started, and you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you a cushion in this uncertain time. Call today, 866-885-1881, or visit americanfinancing.net/Doug. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.